High School. Today we're back at it again with another episode, Mental Health Awareness Austin episode number one. So this is going to be a series of two episodes. So you guys are tuning into the very first episode. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. And yeah, this is a great episode. We're going to touch on a lot of topics of mental health and how can kids get help whenever they're going through a tough situation. So yeah, we're here with Miss Pena and Miss Marlene.
Hello, I'm Miss Peña, counselor here at Austin High School. Soy la consejera Miss Peña aquí en la escuela secundaria Austin High School.
Good morning, I'm Miss Marlene Rodriguez. I'm the Wraparound Specialist here at Austin. Soy Miss Marlene Rodriguez, soy la especialista en recursos integrados.
Okay. So for some reason I don't see the slides anymore. Okay. Right there. So all right, the first scenario will be Jesus is going through a challenging time and feels like he's in a dark place mentally. Who is the very first person on the campus he should reach out to so he can vent or get some advice?
Okay, so if Jesus is going through anything, it has to be an adult. Anyone on campus that's an adult. Most students, what they usually do is go to a friend, and the friend may be helpful, but they will not know exactly how to help them. So anyone on campus, as long as they're an adult and they have been trained and they know exactly what to do, at the end of the day, they're going to come straight to the counselor because we're the ones that have to take care of the student. But any adult would be fine. Si el estudiante, la pregunta fue con quién necesita reportar si no se está sintiendo bien o está teniendo algún problema de pensamientos para herirse, es cualquier adulto en la escuela. Cualquier adulto en la escuela está preparado para responder a esta situación. Al final del día, cualquier estudiante lo van a traer con su consejera apropiada. So, tenemos 4 consejeras para cada nivel de grado, pero es un adulto, siempre un adulto.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good answer. And I wanted to add to what Ms. Peña shared, especially since she mentioned, like typically, if there's something that's on your mind, it's weighing on your heart and you feel like you need to vent, we typically go to the person that we trust the most or whoever is closest to us. A lot of times it's our friends who are usually our same age and maybe don't have the best answers to be able to support us. But it's good that you have someone to trust, but we also want to be sure that if it's something that's a little bit more heavy or burdensome, especially if you're thinking of harming yourself or there's just too much going on in your family and we need some more kind of in-depth or professional support, just like Ms. Peña said, we have counselors that are trained here on the campus. Our teachers are also trained to ask the right questions to help connect you to the right resources. So en situaciones siempre que tenemos alguna, algo que estamos pasando en nuestras vidas, depende de qué tan grave sea la situación. Siempre acudimos a nuestra familia o a nuestras amistades, pero a veces no siempre nos pueden dar la asistencia o el apoyo que necesitamos en realidad. A veces nuestras situaciones requieren un poco más de ayuda profesional, entonces por eso es que queremos que ustedes, estudiantes, sepan que los maestros y los consejeros aquí en la escuela están preparados para poder hacer las preguntas correctas, para poder realmente ayudarlos y conectarlos a los recursos que les van a ayudar de mejor manera.
Very, very good. Yeah, I think that if you're going through a challenging time or you're in a dark place mentally, you can always reach out to someone. I know you might feel like they don't really oh, so nobody's gonna hear me out, but there's people out there that will, like Ms. Pena said and Ms. Marlin, always reach out to someone in campus, or even, you can reach out to me, Maurice Jimenez, I'm a peer of Austin High School, I'm a student as well. You can always contact somebody, whether it's, just get help and let people know your situation. You're not alone, and we will help you in the campus or in virtual. There's always help, and all it takes is for you to reach out to us, and we'll be here to assist you guys.
Yeah, I love that. I think just like you said, Mauricio, there's always somebody to help and we shouldn't feel that we have to carry those burdens by ourselves. Nunca estamos solos, siempre hay alguien que nos pueda dar la mano y ayudar y escuchar.
Right on. All right, so this is a scenario two. Carmen suffers from depression and anxiety. Students tend to criticize her for being different and for sitting by herself during lunch. Students always laugh at her, so she skips class occasionally, takes drugs, and drinks alcohol as her way to deal with this. Should she open up to a teacher or a counselor? Who else could she reach out to?
Okay, so in this situation, Carmen should definitely open up, like I said, to an adult and someone she trusts. Usually that adult that she trusts, it's usually, in most cases, a teacher, unless she's already been helped with by a counselor. And it's important that it's someone she trusts because she'll be able to actually talk about it and share everything that's going on rather than start talking to a stranger that you've never met. So it's very important that Carmen speaks to someone that she trusts to start getting help. Like I said, for these situations, it's not going to be, you go to that one person and in that first meeting, you're going to get the help and all of a sudden you're going to be feeling great. It's a process. It's a process, and that's why you have to be able to constantly talk about it and get help for it, because it's not going to be taken care of in one day. It's a process. En la situación que se presentó de la estudiante Carmen, ¿a quién debe de recurrir Carmen? Si se está sintiendo mal, le tiene ganas de tomar alguna droga, etcétera. Como se dijo anteriormente, es importante que Carmen vaya con alguien que tenga confianza, porque así puede ella hablar sobre qué es lo que está pasando realmente con ella. Como dije anteriormente, puede ser un maestro, si ya está viendo a un consejero, aunque no sea su propio consejero y sea de otro nivel, de otro grado, aunque sea un adulto, que vaya con esa persona para que pueda empezar a obtener la ayuda. Esto no es una ayuda donde en esa cita se va a sentir mejor. Es un proceso y toma su tiempo. Entonces, por eso es bien importante que hablen siempre con un adulto y empiecen ese proceso para obtener la ayuda necesaria.
Yeah, I like this scenario because I think we can all relate to it. When something's going on, if we feel like pressure from outside, we feel like we're maybe being outcast because of something that we're going through, right? The scenario says that her friends don't really understand her anxiety. And so she looked to other ways to cope, right? With drinking or doing drugs. So we as individuals always want to try to find a solution, but that solution may not be the best one for us, which is why we need to find someone who can help us through this stuff, right? And so the solutions that Carmen looked to first, drinking and drugs, are tricky, right? Because we know that can lead to more drugs and more alcohol. Then we get into everything that happens to her, not just mentally, but also physically. At a very young age, as teenagers, your bodies are still developing. So you don't want to put in bad things that are going to hinder that development. So, just like Ms. Peña said, to find a trusted adult. I know sometimes it's kind of tricky, or teenagers kind of feel like, oh, I'm not going to talk to my parents, but that's always an option, right? If you have a trusted adult or family member, your madrina, your tia, your lady who used to babysit you, like mine was Miss Hasso, and she was an angel. But so whoever is that trusted adult that you could reach out to, you'd be surprised. I think sometimes adults, they will understand what you've been through as well and can give you some advice and guidance and help you connect to those resources. So, especially if Carmen already took it into her own hands and she feels like she feels better if she smokes or she drinks, that's probably not the best solution, right? So let's try to figure out which ways she can cope, what other things she can do, whether it's breathing exercises or journaling or going to therapy and speaking with someone on a regular basis. Outdoors, physical exercise, right? All those things are going to be healthy for her body and for her mind.
I would just touch on this real quick from my perspective. Me, like, going to high school and going, when I was in campus before the COVID, I would always be by myself at lunch, and it was more of a personal choice. I was always a person that people knew because I did YouTube videos and, I had my own brand. But regardless of that, I never felt like I was always antisocial, but I was socially active in social media. So that's just the way I was. And I'm just touching on points that people can relate to. Like if you're sitting by yourself at lunch, it doesn't mean that you don't have any friends. Sometimes it's just a personal option. Like me, I chose to, instead of listen to other people, I just want to have peace. I love my peace. So that's how I chose to deal with it in lunch. And then when I went to class, I was interacting with my with my classmates and all that. But yeah, if you're different, it doesn't, it's just everybody's unique in their own way. So never feel like, oh, just because I dress this way or talk this way, I'm not. Don't never try to be like someone else. Everybody's unique in their own way. You just add your own sauce to it. So me, like, I would always be by myself in campus, but I found my unique thing, which was doing videos online, interacting with people across the world, globally, and different cultures. I have a friend from UK that we talk every single week, but it's just I was just different from the rest, and it was perfectly fine. So now if you're watching this video, we have something together. If you're alone, it doesn't mean you're truly alone, because there's people in different cultures. When you travel, when you go to different places, you can relate to those people. So don't think just in your city, think globally. And another thing, know how to deal with your pains, because a lot of people try to cope with an anxiety by numbing the pain with drugs, with alcohol, and you're just numbing the pain. When in reality, you got to get to the root of the problem. What is it? Why are you drinking that? Like, you got to get to, it's like, what's the root of the problem? Did it happen with my father? Did it happen with my mom? And talk to someone, open up to someone, and that would do a big change. So always get to the root of the problem, and never numb your pain with drugs, alcohol. There's always a bigger problem than alcohol. But
I
scenario
just need
number.
to give you snaps because you were dead on the money. Absolutely, Mauricio. That was
Thank
good.
you. Thank you. Scenario 3. Amanda doesn't really understand the hub or teams that well and suffered from the first 6 weeks. Since then, she has been on a downward spiral of deep depression. Amanda normally doesn't do well in school, but going to virtual school has totally changed how she feels about school. She was looking forward to graduating, but now she's not even sure that she will be able to graduate. There are days when Amanda just won't even get out of her bed or leave her room. How can she start to turn the situation around?
This is a really good situation because it hits home. It's something similar that happened to my daughter. But what I will say is, Amanda, you have choices. And you've pretty much been in this pandemic at home since March. You've been at home, locked up, pretty much, going out, for the necessities. But you really have to come out of it. You have to, the option is come to school in person. We have a safe environment here. We're following the city's protocols for everyone's safety. But you really have to change the environment that you've been in. Being virtual at home is not for everyone. So, these things that you're going through, spiraling down on your grades, for some people, that's very depressing because they're not people that tend to stay home. They're very active. There's students that are very active, very social. And if you feel like you've been losing all of that, you've been losing your friends, the best thing, the number one thing to do at this point is come back in person. It's going to be a slow start. We're here to support you with anything to get you back on track. And then, you give it a try and see if it's something that you like. And if not, we can work with you. But make a change. Reach out to us, through Teams, email, give us a call. Reach out to us to let us know this is what's going on. This is what I'm going through. But just don't stay in that same situation because remember you do have choices. But Amanda, en el escenario que presentaron ahorita, es importante describir que para un estudiante siempre tienen ustedes opciones. Las opciones para, en el caso de Amanda, probablemente ella es una estudiante social, una estudiante que no está acostumbrada a estar encerrada en casa, y con la pandemia han estado ustedes en casa desde marzo. Entonces, ahorita ya eso puede empezar a cambiar su manera de pensar, los puede empezar a ver deprimir, sus grados están fallando, a lo mejor no tienen la mejor tecnología en casa. Su opción número uno es regresar aquí a la escuela. Aquí en la escuela de la Austin estamos siguiendo los protocolos que tiene la ciudad para mantener a todos sanos, usando las máscaras, teniendo las 6 pies de distancia. Entonces es bien importante que retomen ustedes las opciones que tienen, hablarnos, dejarnos saber qué está pasando por cualquier forma de comunicación, pero tomar una decisión basada en las opciones que hay. No son los únicos que están pasando esto, y sí hay opciones para que ustedes puedan salir de esta situación, como en el caso de Amanda.
Yeah, that's great. So I wanted to just take a quick little step back, because there's a lot that's happening in this scenario, right? Amanda, we can kind of understand she was a pretty solid student, but is not doing well now, right? We have to acknowledge that this has been a big change for her. It's been a big change for everyone, right? So if you're used to making good grades, you were used to hanging out with your friends, having an active day and social life, all that stuff, and it's been just kind of paused, right? We have to give space to Amanda to be able to feel sad about that. She has to have space to grieve for what her life was before, to grieve those friendships that she had on a regular basis, those interactions. She doesn't have them anymore, just like a lot of us don't. So we need to understand that, but sometimes we're like, well, why do I feel this way? Because you liked feeling good, right? Those endorphins, they made you feel good, and you missed that. We have to acknowledge it. But the thing is, as things change, that doesn't mean it, like Ms. Peña said, it's not going to stay like that forever. You can make the choice to change little things that can help you get back to those feel good feelings, right? To get those endorphins, whether it's changing your environment, coming to campus to have a different setting, you're interacting, you're changing your routine where you have to get up and get dressed in the morning, get in your car or the bus or walk to campus, be here, right? What's been different from you just being at home all day. So we want to make sure that students know that we know what that feels like, right? Because we had to do that too. We were working from home, and it was chaotic because we had babies or pets or spouses or whoever at home distracting us, just like you guys get those distractions too at home, right? And so it's been a big adjustment for everyone. So we want to make sure Amanda knows that we see you, we see that you were a good student, and maybe you're struggling now, but we understand why, right? And that you're not alone in it. So just like we've been saying this entire time, the key is to reach out. And all you got to say is, I need help, right? We give you the space to talk about what it is you might need help in. And sometimes just saying that, all that stuff just comes out without you even realizing that it was there. So that's the key of making that choice of, I'm going to reach out because I know there's something in here that needs to be put out into the space, and so for me to receive support. But I love that Ms. Peña started with change your environment, because that's not just your physical environment, it's your mental, like emotional environment too, right? If you're stuck in a dark space, how do we bring the light in? We can literally bring the light in, open your curtains, or go outside, get some sun, or you actually, watch inspirational videos, or watch the videos we're going to post later this week, that sort of stuff, right? So I just want to be sure that we tell Amanda and students like Amanda that we understand what you're going through. We've been through it as well. So we're just all trying to make sure that we're here and supporting each other so that you can make that change and change your environment, change your headspace, so we can get you back to that space where you were before and you were feeling good. So en español, I always forget. So en la situación de Amanda, ella era buena estudiante, pero ahora con la pandemia ha cambiado su situación bastante. Ya no está muy bien en sus calificaciones, quizás en sus tareas, por muchísimas diferentes razones. Lo importante acá es que nosotros los maestros, los consejeros, etcétera, estamos conscientes del gran cambio que hemos pasado todos en todo el mundo. Y más que nada, para poder hacer ese cambio, y me choca decir regresar a como éramos antes, porque no vamos a regresar. Eso no lo podemos hacer. Es imposible, ¿verdad? Right? We're in a new place, so we don't want to go back to where we were. We want to do something new. Pero queremos que los estudiantes sepan que nosotros sabemos lo que están pasando, nosotros también lo hemos pasado, y nuestro enfoque, nuestra meta es apoyarnos todos para poder seguir adelante y encontrar un espacio donde nos sentimos bien de nuevo. Eso puede ser, como dijo Ms. Peña, cambia tu ambiente, cambia tu mente, cambia tu corazón, cambia tus hábitos, tu rutina. O sea, si no te estás levantando temprano, levántate media hora más temprano y verás qué puedes hacer con esa media hora extra en el día. O si no estás acostumbrado a desayunar, hazte un huevito, a ver si te da más energía en el día para el resto de tus quehaceres. Son cambios pequeños que podemos hacer para cambiar nuestro ser, ¿no? Nuestra salud mental y física.
Right. That's perfectly well explained. Another thing I'm gonna add on to that is, like Ms. Pena said, your environment, that's really important, because you are who you surround yourself with. You know, like if I want to become, an entrepreneur and solve all these solutions, I'm gonna go out there and look for people that are business or real estate investors that can help me on my journey. So it's very important who you surround yourself, guys. Be mindful of the people that are negative and toxic or just draining. You know, if someone is a coworker or even a friend and they're always complaining, they're pessimistic, they're, oh, it's not gonna work out. You might have to, distance yourself little by little, and find yourself with people that are always smiling. You know, that coworker that when you get in the morning, oh, good morning, how was your day? With that exciting tone, that's the people that you want to surround yourself with. And another thing, the content that you consume on social media is a powerful one, Ms. Marilyn. You touched on that as well. What you watch on social media, when I only follow people that inspire me, motivate me, uplift me. Like, my whole newsfeed on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat is just positivity. Today's gonna be a great day. People that journal, people that write on journals, that's another thing. If you don't know how to express your feeling or vent, journaling is a good key point. You can just get a journal. I have a lot of journals in my room, and just write for 10 minutes. Write what you're feeling, write your words. Oh, I don't feel good today. Explain why you don't feel good. Put it on a journal, put it on a piece of paper, and read it all out. Tell yourself, okay, what do I need to change? What habits what needs to change in my routine? And that's a very powerful technique, journaling. What are you grateful for? 10 things that you're grateful for today. I'm grateful for Miss Pena. I'm grateful for Miss Marilyn, for being in this meeting right now and talking, helping people with mental health. Just count your blessings, stick to the gratitude. And there's a lot of ways to, be in a positive environment. But just remember, guys, you're never alone. Always reach out to someone, and just you are what you consume. So it's not only food, it's your mindset, who you surround yourself with. So that's a powerful one. And yeah, if you have a question, need to talk, want to share, they're available. Ms. Baker, 12th grade, that's her email. You can reach out to her. These are all the email lists of, principals, counselors. Yeah, these are her emails, and y'all can reach out to them whenever y'all feel like I need to open up to someone or vent to.
I can take a screenshot of this slide, but we're going to post it on all of the team's cohorts channels, and also on the Twitter page and Instagram, so that way you guys know how to access all of our counselors and myself and Ms. Meneses.
Right, and it's also important, I always tell my students, when you're here on campus or, logged on to school, we're available, and we have, teachers, administrators available during the process to help you. But we also have numbers that we can provide for after hours, because sometimes you may be okay during the day at school and nothing's going on, and it hits you like at midnight. So we have cards that we offer, and then we have it on our team's pages. If you need to reach out to someone, there's 24-hour hotlines available. So there's always help at any time. If you're here during the daily hours, then anybody here as an adult can help you and direct you to us. But if it's after hours, there's also help. Siempre lo que les digo a mis estudiantes es, si están pasando algo y necesitan hablar con un adulto, la consejera de su grado o cualquier consejera, no importa si no es de su grado, mientras que sientan esa confianza, estamos a su disposición para ayudarlos. Pero ¿qué tal si les pasa algo y empiezan a tener esos pensamientos a medianoche? También tenemos números que están disponibles 24 horas para ofrecer ayuda. Entonces, siempre pregúntenos, déjenos saber para que nosotros les demos esa información a su disposición.
So
That's me.
yeah.
So I'm sorry I cut you off, Mauricio. So this is Wraparound Services. Again, I'm Miss Marlene Rodriguez, a wraparound specialist. And just like Miss Peña was saying, you know, stuff happens after hours outside of the school day. So what Wraparound Services wants you to know is that we're here to support you in anything, right? I tell students, if you need a pencil or you need a new bed in your home, it's that big range of that's what my job is. My job is to find those resources in the community and connect you and your family to have what you need to be successful, right? So whatever you might need, whatever you might be going through with your family, you know, right now we're seeing a lot of folks that are needing assistance with rent and utilities because parents have either lost their jobs or have their hours reduced, and families are struggling financially. So we're trying to figure out how to get you guys all the support that you need. There's a lot of resources throughout the city and the county. There's a lot of food resources too, right? If we can get you to a food distribution so you can save that money to put it toward your rent, whatever we need to do. So this slide here has all of my contact information. Students can fill out a form for themselves, right? If you don't quite feel like you want to tell an adult, but you still need that support, you fill out that form and you put in the details section, you write on there, Miss, I need help with rent. It can be short and sweet. And my job is to connect with you and then talk to you or your parents and figure out, okay, what's the need and how can we best support you? So en esta página que vemos acá es sobre los recursos integrados. Mi trabajo, me gusta decir a los estudiantes, es si tú necesitas un lápiz o necesitas pagar la renta. Mi trabajo es conectar a ti y a tu familia a los servicios en la comunidad que te puedan apoyar en eso que necesitas. Entonces, cualquier cosa, cualquier duda que tengan ustedes y sus familias, pueden comunicarse conmigo. Los estudiantes también pueden llenar el formulario para acudir a los recursos. Si no sabes a cuál maestro preguntarle, puedes llenar la forma tú solito y esa información llega a mí. Yo me comunico contigo por Teams o por teléfono según la información que tú me des y de ahí vamos a seguir adelante para ver cuáles son los recursos disponibles para poder ayudarte a ti y tu familia.
Vamos a hacer otro capítulo en español para la gente que quiere mirar, la gente que habla español. Vamos a hacer otro capítulo, este es el primer capítulo. Había 3 escenarios en este capítulo. En el segundo va a haber otros 4 o 5 más escenarios que vamos a hablar sobre, la mente y cómo uno puede hablar a un adulto a problemas que tienen en la casa o algo que están pasando. Gracias por mirar otro capítulo de Austin High School con su host Mauricio Jiménez, con Miss Marlene y Miss Peña. Los espero en el otro capítulo. Gracias por estar ahora aquí y por si tienen una duda o algo, always reach out to us, guys.
Thank you so much for having us. This was fun.
Yes, thank you. Great job.